begin by reading The Government of Eden, Spiritual Principles for Living in Peace, Chapter 7, When We Indulge in Condemnation. Let's take a few moments to be still before we begin our reading today. And I thank you all for joining us and everyone joining us here in consciousness. Let's be still. Thank you. So reading from chapter 7, When We Indulge in Condemnation, Joel tells us, "We are told, if so be the Spirit of God dwell in you, then are you sons of God." And that's what happens. You are no longer finite. You are no longer mortal. You are no longer people who were born and will die. Now are ye children of God. If so be the Spirit of God dwell in you. How do we know when the Spirit of God dwells in us? When we no longer condemn the people of this world. I don't mean by that approve some of the nasty things that people do. But when we stop holding people in condemnation for it and realize, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. When we stop our heckling of people, when we stop our fault finding, when we acknowledge that the world is returning to us what we are sending out into the world, then is the Spirit of God dwelling in us. When we have learned to forgive the offenses aimed at us personally, racially, religiously, and nationally. When we have learned enough of forgiveness, then the Spirit of God truly dwells in us. And when we are obedient to the 9th commandment, which is do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Ordinarily, that is understood to mean that you shouldn't gossip or tell tales or repeat scandal about your neighbor. But in the infinite way, it has a far deeper meaning than that. Far deeper. To bear false witness against your neighbor is to accept them as human beings, even good ones. To say that so and so is good or healthy is to bear false witness against your neighbor because you are holding him in thought as a finite human being who was born and who will die, who may be good today and bad tomorrow. To obey this commandment of not bearing false witness against your neighbor, you have to stop believing that your neighbor is good or bad, but understand spiritual being. We have to see each other not as good human beings, but as spiritual beings, immortal, eternal, having no good qualities and bad qualities, having only the qualities of God, which are spiritual. You see, if the qualities of God were good, they could lapse into bad. They would be pairs of opposites, but God has no pairs of opposites. That which is of God is infinity and eternality. Therefore, it can be white or black. It can't be good or bad. It can't be beautiful or unbeautiful. It is a state of invisible spiritual being. And that's what you are, and that's what I am. If you could only realize it, this that you see here isn't me. This is my body. So if you are looking at this and judging, you are judging unrighteous judgment, because I, Joel, am invisible. And you have never seen me, and you can't see me. There's only one way that you can see me. If you can get still enough and quiet enough so that you can come to a state of spiritual realization, then you can see me as I am. That is spiritual and perfect. And that is what happens in healing work. In that universe of God, there can be no inharmony and no discord. In that perfect universe of God's creativeness and God's maintaining and sustaining nature, where intelligence and love are the major factors, no discord or inharmony ever appears. That world is called Eden. That world is called the Garden of Eden. That world is called divine harmony, or it has another name, spiritual consciousness. Into spiritual consciousness, no error ever intrudes. No form of error ever intrudes into spiritual consciousness. Here you have the basic premise of God's being and God's function in our experience. Let's be still here a moment. Thank you. Further on in the chapter, practice seeing God's creation. You can begin to apply this in a very simple way by going into your home, where you may have birds or pets or children, and begin right there with, no longer will I think of you as good. No longer will I think of you as evil, but I will look upon you as God's creation, created in His image and likeness, having the qualities of God. All that the Father hath is thine, and I will henceforth see you only in that way. When you go into shops or market, watch the difference when you learn to look on the clerks as if they were neither good nor evil, and refuse to bestow any praise or condemnation on them, calling them neither good nor evil, but children of God, servants of the Most High. Watch what happens in your immediate family as you begin to unlearn what you know about your husband or your wife or your child or your parents, and begin to go back to their original selfhood, which was created in the image and likeness of God. Realize that in and of themselves they have no qualities of good or evil, but all they are is that which God constituted in them, and of them and through them, which God constituted in them and of them and through them. You will quickly perceive that these errors of conduct and thought will lessen as you lift both praise and condemnation. Let's be still. Thank you.